Hey everyone, and welcome back to Check Oz Out. A couple of weeks ago, we invested in a Starlink satellite internet, and we thought that this video could be a bit of a review of how we've found it over the past couple of weeks. We'll cover off the product itself, how to set it up, the pros, the cons, the price, and ultimately if we feel like it's worth the investment. Starlink have a few models available for their satellite internet. Now we're going to be reviewing the RV portable option only. So Starlink is a satellite internet constellation, and it's a service run by SpaceX where it provides satellite internet service to something around 46 countries. And luckily for Australians, Australia is one of those countries where the coverage is essentially 100% effective all around the country. In the box, you'll get a modem, you'll get a satellite dish, and you'll get the satellite dish base, or legs, as well as a power cable and a really long cable that connects the modem to the satellite dish. So how do you set up your Starlink satellite internet unit? To set up your Starlink, in the first instance, you'll need to register your account and your product in their app. You then need to plug in the modem to 240 volt power, and then plug that modem using the long cable provided into the satellite dish. Now the dish needs to be placed where it has a clear view line of sight to the sky with minimal obstructions around, such as trees or buildings or structures. You then connect your phone to your Starlink Wi-Fi. We've called ours Indy. And then initially you might need to do some calibration and setup, such as naming your Wi-Fi, setting passwords and things like that. Then in about 5 to 10 minutes, after the Starlink boosts up, you should have fast, reliable internet. So AJ, tell them the price, son. How much does it cost? Well, there are two costs involved with your Starlink purchase. The first is the upfront cost for the hardware, and then the second is the ongoing monthly cost for the internet service. So at the time of filming this video, the hardware costs advertised on their website was for $924. Now, they are currently running a promotion, which we also took them up on, where you can get basically half price off that and pay only $450 for the hardware. Then for the RV option, the portable option which we have, the monthly cost is $174. Now that includes unlimited data. Now we also managed to get an additional promotion where we received 2 months free, which is a really good saving. Alright, so let's talk about the cons. Now it's important to understand that I'm talking about the cons from the context of our use. So we live in our motorhome, we move around day to day. So the pros and cons that I'm about to discuss are for our situation, and they may not be the same for you. So the first setback I see with this product, because it is a portable option and you can't use it on the move, it is something that needs to be set up and plugged in every single time you want to use it, which isn't ideal if you're moving different locations during the day, or if you're wanting to use this thing whilst driving, which you can't. Now we do know that there are some companies out there that are selling permanent mounts for these RV Starlinks. However, they are quite costly, and we haven't done that, so I can't comment on the effectiveness of those. Storage is another issue. Because it is quite large, and you do need to find a place for the modem, the legs, and the dish itself, storage can be an issue, particularly when you've already built your bus and have accounted for a lot of the space already. It's hard to find additional space to store it. If you're in the early processes of a bus build or a van build, it would be important to consider where you might want to store this when it's not in use, and therefore account for that in your build. Cable management is another issue that we see. Because it does need to be plugged in and outside, we can see that this might be an issue for some. Some people run the cable out the window, some people out a door or a skylight. However, this leaves those doors or windows open for mosquitoes or rain to get in. Luckily for us, we managed to find a solution utilising a spare water inlet, meaning that our cable doesn't need to run through a door or a window, and therefore no water or mozzies can get in. Our solution also means that the cable is hidden and stored out of sight, out of mind, and out of the way. So whilst cable management is an issue that we see, we've managed to find a solution for us that works, and I'm sure you'll be able to too. And the final con I'm going to mention, I was a bit hesitant as listing as a con, and that's because it's obstructions. So that means that this satellite internet, for it to work really well, you need limited obstructions. Now sometimes when you're parked, let's say in an RV park or a campsite where you're allocated a spot, you don't really get to choose the trees around you. However, it can be countered by mounting it on the roof or using the long cable provided to move your Starlink into space where it can easily access a clear view of the sky. Now, the reason I was hesitant to list this as a con is other internet providers also have issues with obstructions too. Alright, so let's get into the pros of this product. So the first pro I want to discuss is the best, and that's coverage. We've taken this Starlink to some pretty remote locations. For example, right now we're in Kangaroo Island, and a lot of this island has SOS services for coverage for Telstra, for Optus, and we have had no issues getting coverage anywhere on this island at all. The second pro is the speed, and again, this is super impressive. We are getting speeds in remote locations over 150 megabytes per second, and usually up over 170 megabytes per second. So the next pro is the fact that you have unlimited data. So no matter what you do, video calls, video editing, streaming, you cannot hit a limit and it won't slow your internet down. And finally, the last pro I want to list is the app itself. So the app, I feel, is very user-friendly, and it gives you all the stats you need on things like uptime, downtime, whether you have obstructions in the way, the speed that you're currently getting, the devices that are connected, your usage, everything is there and easy to use. So after all that, do we feel like it's worth the additional cost, size and setup? Do the pros outweigh the cons for us? Well, for our individual needs, and that's two people living in their motorhome, working part-time online jobs, we do feel that the pros outweigh the cons in this case. For us, fast and reliable internet is crucial for our lifestyle. We don't have to worry about getting cell service or driving somewhere to a cafe that has internet. This gives us the ultimate freedom to work wherever we want on our working days, and know that whether we're doing video calls or streaming or uploading videos, we have strong, reliable internet at all times. The Starlink has been a huge improvement from our old system, which gave us patchy service and often meant that we had to use hotspotting on our phone or piggyback off someone else's Wi-Fi. On our old service, we would also go through our data way too quickly, often before half the month is even through. The increase in speed is also very noticeable when we're doing things like video calls or accessing remote desktops, uploading videos or streaming. So for us, because we did manage to find a storage and cable management solution that suited us and made setup easier and storage more manageable, we feel like the Starlink RV portable solution is a big win. We feel this upgrade has been well worth the investment and will do us really well in the long term. We would love to hear about your experiences with Starlink, or if you're tossing up whether to get it or not and have more questions, feel free to pop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.